Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to the stream. It's been a long time since I have played on chess.com, so I feel a bit rusty. We need to fix that. I'll play a couple of games just to stay in shape, and then we'll uh, hopefully see you again tonight during the regular stream. Okay, let's try to play some games. Let's try to find some people. Okay. C4, C6 will try to play D5 to enter the some slab defense. Queen C2, okay. I don't know why he played that move, it's too early to play it. Okay, I don't have bishop F5, but so what? We can play knight E4. We can try with knight E4 to see what is on his mind. E3, bishop F5, E6, and now my bishop on F5 does not hang anymore. Bishop D6 to take the E5 under control. If he jumps on E5, I might be forced to take, but okay. He attacks 3 times. We'll take. We welcome exchanges because we are slightly behind, slightly pushed to our side of the board. He has more space. Okay, let's castle first. So he doesn't have any tricks. Okay. Takes. And we are fine here. I see no problems for black yet. H6, because bishop G5 might be annoying once I put the knight on F6. Now we have where to put the queen. Okay, I'll play queen C7. I'll play queen C7, rook F8. Now let's see, if I play B6 or C5, which move will benefit me more? Let's put the rook on the D file. We'll need to fight for the D file anyway. And now we need to make a choice. Either we push C5 or E5. And I would like to play E5, but he does have C5 at some point. Bishop E7, we'll try bishop F6 and then E5. D5, take, we'll take with the, we'll take the queen, and now let's see, he does hit A7. So with this move we defend the A7 by covering the line of the attack of the bishop, and we also attack this pawn because our rook pins the D5 pawn to the D1 rook. Takes. Okay, but now what you do? What do you do now? Okay, and then okay, bishop E4. I don't have any tricks yet. But this pawn is weak. So I will try, let me see, he has rook B3 at some point. I'll pass. I'll pass because my king is faster to reach this pawn than his. And if I play f6 and put my king on d6, I think I should have some sort of initiative, and this pawn will become weak in the endgame. So I didn't want to exchange on d5. Now his rooks are hitting in this pawn. They are slightly passive, and they are not well positioned to fight for the c file. Not yet. So I'm really okay. We need to. Okay, king f8. What is he trying? He's trying knight c2. Okay, I'll keep the bishop. Knight c2, bishop c5. I hope for b4, so he doesn't have the b file to attack my weakness on b6. I do have better coordination, so okay, he covered everything. g6. We cannot give white knight f5 square. Rook c7 will double on the c file. His rooks do nothing on the d file. Let me fix these weak pawns on dark squares. And now we'll exchange one pair of rooks, and his defense will not be able to hold everything. Then he'll have to take care about the squares that he controls and the ones that he relinquishes. Right now these two rooks defend everything. Okay, take. He'll take with the knight most likely to keep the c3 square protected. Rook c2. Now the rest of my pieces are active. We'll play king e7 and f5, e4. But actually I don't have to hurry with that move, not yet. Okay, another idea is to put the bishop on c7, then king on d6, and then play bishop b6, and I like this move a lot. This knight is his best piece. I would like to exchange it, but okay, I cannot exchange it yet. Okay. Very well. Good. That knight stands really well. But I do have this weakness to attack at some point. So let's see what will white play next. We do have some weaknesses to attack. H5, F5, pardon, I need to dislodge the knight. This knight stands really well. And since he has a knight, I'm not concerned that he will fix my pawn on H6, because knight needs to stay in close proximity of the pawns to defend them, and I will have dark squares to penetrate. Especially his king is cut off, so I have practically an extra piece playing. I just need to dislodge the knight to somehow make my bishop work. My bishop is now really weak. Okay, he might try knight b3, but it won't work yet. King d7 won't work either. How to penetrate? Bishop c7, bishop b6 would be nice. Where does the knight go? But okay, knight c5, b6. He has knight b7. Check. Okay, if I check, and go here, how does he defend? He doesn't. So that's a pawn. I think that we have a clear extra pawn for us now. This rook is very, very limited in action. He's blocked actually by all of his pieces, so he cannot help. On rook c3, I can play even king d7, taking away the c8 square from the rook. We will not allow the rook to enter the game. Okay. We can give check. So just to disrupt white pieces even more. Now I have rook h1 check with tempo, which is good for us. Okay, so he plans to play knight c3 to get the b pawn. So what can I do to stop that? Okay. Ah, nice. But then all of his pieces will be out. Okay. On knight c3 we have e4. I'll give him the b pawn. I cannot defend this pawn, but thank God I have. Hey, TTV, how are you? Thank you for coming back. My ELO is 2011 FIDE. We'll take it like this. So if he takes, we'll have passed pawn, connected passed pawns. He may not. Okay, now let's see. We can play h5. My ELO is 2011 FIDE. It was back in the old days. Okay, let's see what he plays now. h4. Knight d4. Okay. So he wants to take this pawn, but we cannot allow him to do that. King f6, and then this. It's time to... Okay, I'll have to take. I'll have to take and play this move. On knight b5 we have king e5 with a firm blockade. Okay, h3. And now we'll play b5 next. So he will try to go there. Bishop goes d2. All right. Okay, and now we have this move working tactically for us. If he takes, we have h2. If he takes, we'll have h2 with queen. King d6. This is another weakness. Okay, let's see what else we can do. Bishop f6. He'll probably push. Take. Here we go. king b6, take, he may not take because we queen, and this will be a draw. Yeah, this will be a draw. Okay, he saved a draw. I misplayed somewhere. Okay, I misplayed somewhere. I'll take a look at the game to see where, because I'm really interested. I think I was winning at some point. Queen c2. I have nothing to punish. Okay, knight e4. He is slightly better. Okay, e6. He is slightly better. Now he is not. He can be. Come on. Okay. He cannot be that better. h6. Queen c7. Okay, h3. c5. A lot of options. Okay, this cannot be bad. d5. Okay, cd5, cd5. Queen c2. Okay. Let's see now. Knight f6, but he could take on a7. Yeah, engine says that black has advantage, but from my practical experience, it's not so simple. Take. Okay, rook d5. Bishop b4, rook d3. We are still fine. e5. Equal. King f8. Still equal. Okay, still good position. Bishop c5. Yeah, I wanted to provoke b4. I need, yeah, and you see immediately black is better, because now this pawn blocks this b file for the rook, because he would have rook b, he would have rook b3 hitting both weak pawns, and that would pin my pieces to defense. But with b4 now he can no longer attack these weaknesses, and these pawns are actually good because they control important squares on the open files. And now my bishop can move to block, and if I put, this was the setup I was aiming for, king on d6, this bishop would go to d4 somehow by for example, this pawn could go to b5 to open up the diagonal to play, look at me, something like this. And then rooks rooks go to c file, and then we push f5, and we have pressure, we have advantage. That was my plan, that was the position I was aiming for, but I couldn't manage to implement it. Okay, g6 preventing knight f5. Yeah, that was the strongest. g4, good move by my opponent, fixing the h6 pawn on dark square, because we have a bishop, we want our pawns to be on the opposite color. So we have a black bishop, we want pawns to be on white squares. It is not like this on dark squares. So our opponent is fighting. Well, okay, what should I have played? King e7, yes. That was a more consistent move, but okay, just bringing the king. Okay, f3, not much. We have the c file, b5. Okay, rook c2. Okay, I like this. We exchange. Why do we exchange? Because his rooks control the whole board. I simply have no entry squares. So If I exchange just one rook, then I will get a lot of entry squares for my rook on the c file. That's why I have exchanged, and also this one rook will have problems defending everything. He will have to be either on one side or the other side of the board. With two rooks you can put one on the other side of the board, the other on, pardon, you can put one on one side and the other on the other side of the board, and they can keep your position together. Now the margin for error is much lesser for white, and this rook is actually bad because he cannot go back to defend because it is blocked by the knight, and it cannot go forward to attack because it is blocked by the pawn. Neither he has many good squares on the third rank due to these pawns blocking him. His best piece is the knight, and I would love to somehow restrict it. I still, if I could find a square for my bishop, like if I can put it on d4, I would be better, because I would play f5 to gain some space and create a passed pawn, and then I can use the long range of the bishop to support my rook and pass pawns on one side and create action on the other side. He cannot do the same with his knight because his knight is a short range piece. Knight cannot act on both sides of the board. So rook c2, I still think this was well played. King e7. Okay, I missed my, yeah, this was imprecise. I should have played f5 to stop knight e4. Okay, this was imprecise. So I dropped the advantage here. King e2, bishop c7, also imprecise. Maybe f5. f5 still to correct my mistake, to stop him, to limit this knight from playing. Bishop c7, I was trying to reroute the bishop like this. King d1, I missed king d1. Rook a2, knight e4, rook, bishop d6. Yeah, I have to go back. h4 is a weak move. f5 gave him knight c5. Okay, I should have gone rook h2 immediately, winning the pawn. Okay, knight d2, rook a1, and I simply have a pawn, and this is a winning advantage. Okay, let's see how I blew it. Rook h1, we explained why. We work with tempo. King b3, and you just move the pawn. Yeah, just queen them, for God's sake. Rook h3, king, rook g3, we still win. f4, engine suggests rook d3, rook g2. Yeah, exactly. You check, you pass, and he cannot defend this pawn. My bishop will simply take it, and I have 3 extra pawns. Okay, but I still win. h5, h4, we're still winning. And let's see, here I must have squandered somehow. a4, bishop e5, we still win. King d6 was a bad move. So how do you win this? Bishop c7, king c5. He must create a passed pawn. King d7 is something that is logical, a human move. And he has no b5. I missed that he has no b5 because I can take this pawn. That's what I missed. So he cannot play this. And if he plays, he cannot move the knight, because if he moves the knight anywhere, then I play h2 and I queen. So this knight cannot move. Okay, if this knight cannot move and this pawn cannot move, what does he have? He cannot move the pawn because I'll take it for free. He cannot move the a pawn either, so he is in Zugzwang. So let's say he plays king c4 as the strongest. King d6, then I have king d6, king d4. Might be the move. And I have b6. And if he takes, he has king c4 and I have bishop g1, right? Yeah, bishop g1 and I win because he cannot take, because I play h2 and I promote. He cannot stop the pawn. And if he plays b5, well, my king holds both of his pawns, and I simply play this and I win. So that was my mistake. Let's see what else he can do. Pardon. If he tries to pass, I have b5. And he has no a7 because I take the pawn with the check. Wow. Okay, I need to work on my endgame. Alright, let's play new game. We learned enough from this one. Okay, Tatiana, hello. Welcome to the stream. Okay, let's play d4. Slightly make a change. Alright, so my opponent will try to play King's Indian, I guess. Okay, castles. There is no point in going for the mating attack. His castle king is too strong. It's excellently protected. So we would like to play on the queen side. Try to grab some space. We'll play knight c3 next. And try to gain some space advantage. Let's see. What can we play next? e6. He closed his own bishop. Okay. h3. So we can drop back this bishop in case of knight h5. And yes, we do have knight h5. My opponent might try f5. Yeah. He tries to play the Dutch attack, but this cannot possibly work for him. And now I can even play, let's see, I'll play f4. I am closing my bishop with this f pawn, but I do have c5, and I'll start pushing pawns, performing minority attack. b5. How do I play this? Wow, wait a second. You can play like this because this c pawn drops. Okay, I like this. We have an extra pawn. And I don't want to allow him to change the nature of the position. I will not take the knight. I will take the bishop. Although this bishop is weak, it is closed. I like to have bishop pair. I like the fact that I will have a bishop pair. And now it's the time to open up the position. He cannot play a5 because I will take on b5. We have a4. On knight c6 we'll take on b5. He'll take on b4. Okay, nice. This is also nice. Let's see if we have b5. We'll take with the queen. We'll take with the queen. So on knight c6, b pawn is defended. Now let's see what can we play next. What is our next plan? Knight c6. Okay, he has no sacrifices yet. b5 takes. Okay, we are playing on the queen side. At the moment we are a pawn up, so we are not gonna hurry. We will slowly improve the position of our pieces. Let's see. What else does he have? Nothing yet. Bishop g3. There are no tactics yet. Okay, I would like to exchange this knight. So this diagonal gets open for my bishop. Bishop c4, we target the e6 weakness, and now our bishop will come to e1, defending the b4 pawn. And we'll have enough time to play some other useful move, like maybe queen, okay, h5, but I'm not afraid of it. I have already decided to play bishop e1, defending this bishop. So now we can slowly regroup. Okay, b5. We have we have connected passed pawns, and he now blundered another pawn. Let me see if I can take the two rooks. Yes, I will sacrifice the queen because his queen has no entry squares to my camp, and I will grab this pawn. So he will have no counterplay, and my two rooks will easily defeat the queen. Bishop d4, nice tactical shot. Okay, I'll take it. I have 3 pieces for the queen. So let's see what he has in mind for us. Okay, we can give check. And we can take here, check, and we have bishop f1. He will have queen e3. Okay, he does have queen e3. Do I care? I think I don't care. As Naka would say, he literally doesn't care. b6. But wait. Check. Rook b4. I'll take on b4. I don't care. King h1. Where is your check? Aha. He has this check, grabbing the rook. Okay, bishop f1. Pardon. If I play on h2, king f1. Okay, where to now? Where will he play now? Queen c1. King e2. Or king f2. Then he has a rook. Alright. I certainly gave him a lot of counter chances. I lose a rook. Here, and here he has this move, and again I lose the rook. Okay. Let us try to muddy the water. Alright, he'll play here. We do have bishop e2, queen b4, rook here. and we'll have something like this. But he's still better. He can play f4, having a mating attack. Yes, good, good for him. B6, e3, king. Okay, I have to play something. King e2, b7. But now on e3 he has this. b7, I have to make some counterplay. He'll play this. Okay. If he wishes a draw, he'll get a draw. Okay, it's a draw. Was it really a mistake? Let me just take a look. Was it really a mistake to sacrifice the queen for 2 rooks? I really think that it was a good move. Still good. Before. So no mistake yet. No, it wasn't a mistake. So I misplayed here. Rook b4. I knew it was a mistake. So b6. And he has nothing. I should have. So b6. But on this, queen d4, I do have b7. He needs to defend somehow. I didn't calculate far enough. So how does he defend the queen square? He has no other choice but to play queen d8. But then I can play this and I queen anyway. And my king is safe, he has no perpetual, and I have 2 extra rooks. Okay, so that was a mistake, but how? Okay, after that he had, I mean, king. Yeah, I should have played here and be satisfied with the perpetual he had. He even wins. Okay, so here he still had a win. Okay. Okay, we learn. Let's play a new game. It's a shame. It's a shame. Okay. Nobody plays. Wow. Really? Nobody plays. Is it? Oh, finally, somebody. Okay. Okay, now I can play bishop f5. His move order is slightly imprecise. So is mine. But it is quite solid. So okay, this knight is misplaced. It would be better posted here, but it doesn't matter. I still have a better development, and now I can take the C file. Now let's see how can we exploit this. Not very much. Queen e7. What happens if I play a5? He takes, I take on a3. Or I can play this move. So when I take like this, I will have knight b6, knight d2. No, I will not allow it. But I would have d5 square for my knight if I play it like that. Okay. Check. What to do, how to attack. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'll drop back. I was calculating these sacrifices, but they do not work. Okay. Bishop d8. We'll try to play something like this. Now a7 is protected. Rook c8, rook c8. Alright. We are threatening here. He needs to play something. And we'll play queen c6 next, threatening bishop c2. We have the c file for us. All of our pieces are active. Knight b6. We might play knight a4 next. Not immediately. b5. Okay. b5. What to do? What to play next? Okay. I'll play queen c2. I have to do something with the queen. He's only... Actually, his queen is holding everything together at the moment. There are no threats for my opponent. Everything is under control. We'll play bishop d6, improving this bad bishop. Now we threaten to take here and then take on a3 because this bishop will be deflected once he recaptures on c3. C file is under control because his queen is under x-ray by our queen. So his queen has no moves. She cannot... Okay, good. Now we need to transition into a favorable endgame. Let's see, what can we do? Knight a4 seems very nice. Okay, knight c3, and we have bishop a4 attacking twice the b5 pawn. So we should be able to get the pawn. I think that this will be beneficial to us, but we need to make proper exchange because maybe we should... Actually, I'm not gonna take the pawn yet. Our king is a powerful piece in the endgame, and currently it is out of play. We can play something like this. And this is nice. I like this plan. So This is something that we can play at the moment. If he doesn't create any active plan, he might play bishop b2, after which we take, and play bishop a4, and his b pawn must fall. He might play b6 to try to double our pawns, but we might play simply okay, king f8. We are not interested in the king side yet. King e8. Okay, his bishop is passive. King d8. What will he play? Okay, it's time to grab the pawn. And on this move we'll play king e8. Pardon. Yes, we are setting up a trap. If he takes, we play f6 and we trap the knight. Alright, we'll take on b5. Time to take. Alright, another favorable exchange for us. We have a bishop pair. And an extra pawn, so we should be easily winning. We'll use the bishop's long range to create some threats on the king side. Okay, and then we'll push our passed pawn. Let's see, what can we do to reach a winning endgame? He'll try knight e5, most likely knight e5. So we need to prevent this move and play g5 next. We want to grab space. We want to restrict his knight with our bishops. Okay, knight b3. He cannot open the game. He cannot. So why not play something like this? And when he puts the knight here, we just take it off and we play against the bad bishop, g5. And if he takes, I'm contemplating taking like this. So I can create another passed pawn. Okay, king f7. It's time to go to king side via light squares. And let's see. If he takes... No, we are not gonna take it yet. Okay, we have a5. It's time to push the passed pawn. b5. Something has to be done. The position is too closed to be won like this. We need to make some action. It's time. Let's see, where will our opponent go? Okay, b4. We'll take with the bishop. Now look how nicely these bishops cut off the king. And we'll play bishop to c2 next, so he can take this square as well. Now I have to take back like this, so we don't allow knight e5. This square needs to be protected. And now we play bishop b3. On knight d3 we have bishop c4 pinning the knight, and his king cannot play king d2, pardon, because of this bishop. Okay, a4, it's time to push. a3, knight e1, very well. What else will he play? He has little to play. Okay, if I play g4, does that work? Let's hop in with the king first, because now I want to see what will his next move be. This bishop is dead. This knight is hopping around there. Now he will have no squares. Okay, where do you play now? King g5, and his knight is going to hop on f4. If I take it and start playing, okay, but then where do you go? Bishop c2, knight f4. We have this move, and now he needs to play something. E5. Okay, it's okay. King f7. Okay, bishop on e4. But why should I? I'll just play here. Knight f4, king d6. Okay, he might play knight h5. All right. Okay. Time to push e5. It's time to push e5. Okay. We have no time for these games anymore. Our king simply enters, pardon, I apologize, here, and he grabs the weak pawns, and that's the end of the game. This bishop is restricted, he needs to play with the king. He needs to play with the king. We hop in. There is no checkmate, and now he needs to, it's simply Zugzwang. Okay, and actually I can just take the bishop, because, yeah, because this square was taken away, all his king was walled off, pushed away from the queen side, we win. Let's see what could have I done better, because I'm not very satisfied with the quality of my play. Okay, this is a position like any other. He just misplayed slightly the opening. Okay. Nothing special, knight e4. What do you suggest? Take in knight b6. Okay. Okay, knight e4 is the second engine move. Okay. Take, knight d2. Bishop g6. Queen b3. Bishop b8. Take. Okay, I squandered the advantage. Nothing new for me. Queen, okay, queen c2, I'm better. Knight, okay, bishop d6, take. Knight a4, okay, good move. b6. But I played knight c3, it's a second engine move, okay. That's fine with me. Take, knight e2. There is no need to take yet. I should have played f6. I like f6, yeah. f6 was better because his knight then would not be able to go to e5 nor to g5. I simply defend the whole king side and then my king can march, as we stated earlier. Okay, that was the imprecision. This. Knight c4. Okay, bishop b2. Slightly imprecise, yeah, from my side. This. King e8. Well, you have to play something. Okay, king g2. Take. King f6, h6. f6, yeah. Now it's simple. Bishop a4. Knight f3, maybe. Okay, g5. Bishop b2. Simply go. Yeah, hg5. Killing off the bishop. With a3, his bishop cannot move. It is dead, he can only play with the knight and the king. Maybe I should have played g4. Yeah, g4 is way stronger, so he doesn't have knight f3. And on f3, maybe I don't have to take. But I can, actually. I can. Because it's a weakness on g3 if he pushes f3. Okay, so g4 was more precise. Knight f3. Bishop c4. Yeah, nice move. And then you have king e4. Okay, g4, knight a5. King e4 works. Okay, but I didn't want to allow it. You're still fine. Yeah, he needs to play now. Something, and on, let's say, knight h5, we do have e5. And after this move, the knight is trapped. Knight is trapped because if he takes on e5, we can take bishop e5. And his bishop must exchange. Knight is still trapped in our pawn queens. Yeah, this was a good plan. Okay. Pardon, so he played knight a3. Now we simply enter into the one endgame because our king penetrates. and collects all the weak pawns. Okay, okay. So clean game. Okay. D4. I don't want to allow him to play e5 and grab some space. Okay. Okay. H3. I can waste a little time, and so did he. C3, preventing knight b4. Now this pawn is stuck. No. No, I'll allow to take on f4. Castles. If he takes, I will have open e-file, and I will have. Aha. Now he equalized. Yeah, I didn't stop e5. Very well. I always forget about this e5 push. Take. Alright, take. Knight f3. Black has no problems. He might be even better. Slightly more comfortable. Alright. What can you do? Oof, 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 oof. Not my cup of tea. So, what will you play, sir? I want to exchange queens. Now I'm perfectly fine. I have developed all of my pieces. My knight stands well. What else can we do? F4, no. E4 doesn't work. C4, I have to play something. And since I have developed all of my forces, I need to create action before he finishes development. He just needs one move. And he can play bishop d7 perhaps. Bishop e6. Take on e6. I'll take the bishop. And let's see if I take. But I get nothing by taking. On d5. If I take, he'll take like this, and there is little to be happy about. Again. Time for the minority attack. I have no other plan at my disposal. I see nothing else. So this rook goes to b1, and this rook needs to go to d1. We might play f3 at some point to take away the e4 square for the knight. But for now, there is no need to hurry. b4. Maybe I should have first taken. Yeah, I should have first taken. Okay. So now if I take, he might take with the knight. There is so little to. Okay, f3. Not the most exemplary pawn play, but I will have to do something regarding my position. I need to make some plan, and this is very weak square. So if I take on d5, he might take with the knight and threaten here. I'm so weak on the dark squares. Okay, he decided to take. And now, rook d4. All right. So you will have something like that. Okay. But if I take, he has the d square, d5 square. I don't like that. He's better now. He's way better. So he might play knight c3. I take, he takes, and he gets the d file. I have to play rook d2 to prevent his rook from penetrating, but he does have knight d1, something that I have missed. If I play this, rook d2, king e1, then his knight will be under attack. He won't be able to defend the rook. So rook d2 is a mistake. So he moves back the knight. We have king e2, which is nice. Which is actually nice. We can contest the d file. Knight a4. King e2. Okay, we have plugged the d file, but still black is slightly better. Okay, he doesn't have much. Okay, let's play rook c4. Let's play rook c4. We would like to play rook e4 at some point, but he has knight c3, double attacking. g5. Okay, let's try h4. Let's try h4 to create some weaknesses for his pieces. So he wants to take on h4, and he wanted to take on g2. But now we defend the g2 pawn, and he has no longer knight c3 double attacking the king and the rook. So now actually takes. How do you take? Takes, and rook e4 actually becomes a threat. But we also have rook e4. I'll play rook e4. And now his knight is slightly pinned to the defense of this pawn. No longer. Okay. Let's see. Knight c3. We do have something. Maybe f4. Creating a passed pawn. Or something like this, but it doesn't work. Does it? Check. Okay, we'll play rook g4, threatening f4 to win the pawn. When he plays knight f6, we play rook d4, penetrating on the d file. Because he cannot go back with the knight, we have e4, winning the knight. So here he is. Again, he cannot go here because we have e4 winning the pinned knight. But he does have king e7 plugging the d file. Okay. We'll play e4. To take away this square from the knight. This knight is very strong. He might have e5, and I understand that he has a lot of good squares for his pieces, but I need to make some penetration points. g4. I'm not afraid of that. He won't achieve much, but now we have the h file. g3. Oh, okay, this was nice. This was actually very nice. King e3. We need to play f4 to create a passed pawn. His knight is now restricted. He doesn't have d5 square, and we'll play rook h3, pinning this rook to the defense of g3 pawn. Then we might play bishop d1 to take the g4 square under our control, and play f4. Rook h3. Now he needs to make some move. Maybe b6. But we do have rook h8. Yeah. Okay, he weakened his position slightly. Bishop c4. This is a weakness now. This is a weakness, and now he needs to play b5. If I have calculated everything correctly, c5 will not help, because I can simply take the pawn on h6. Or he can play something like that. Alright. Another good move by my opponent. So, what happens if I play f4? He has knight g4, knight h2. So, there is little for me to be happy about. But alright, what will he play next on this move? What will he play next? Knight h5 is very strong. I need to deal with that move. How is counterplay? So maybe I can go and pick up the pawn. Why do I need this king on e3? I have no problems at all. His rook cannot go anywhere yet. So if I play rook h6, his king is pinned to the defense of the knight. Rook is hindered. Rook cannot go here. Rook cannot go here. Rook cannot go here, nor here. So his rook. So I can march my king here and start attacking the queen side. What will you play? Rook here. I take, you have rook a1. I'll pick it up. Okay. Because there is no way that he can defend everything. Bishop on e2. He has knight e6 maybe, but I must be able to get the... Okay. 96. 96, he still stands well. He still stands. Wow. Alright. And now he has knight f4. After h4. Okay. Where to play now? Okay. There is nothing I can do. King b6. He might even try to zugzwang me. Okay, we need to play for a draw. There is no way for us to win the game. Well played by my opponent. Now I am fighting for a draw. But I think this is an easy draw. There is nothing for him in this position because his knight is well restricted. But after this move, what do you play? He cannot play this move as he intended. Here I'll be happy to play king c3, and now he might try to march with his king, but I can always play this, this and this. Okay, bishop c3. Let's see, where will his knight go? Let's see, how can I make I'm not gonna screw around. I have 20 seconds. Okay, it's time for him to prove victory. I'm not gonna try to play for a win. Okay. Maybe here an f4, but I don't have time to calculate. He can simply make moves and flag me. A dirty way to play. Yeah, you'll flag me. But how? Ah. Let's go. What a dirty way to play. Always hated players like that. Okay, whatever. Flagfest. Okay. Let's play. Need to play way faster. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Let's put some pressure along this diagonal. His setup is really slow. I mean, this makes no counterplay at all. Bishop e7. Take, take. a3. I'll try to play b4 and b5 to dislodge the knight and get the e5 square for myself. Okay, we exchanged the bad bishop for his good one. His bishop was also a strong defender of the king, so okay, I'm not dissatisfied. He has e5, b5, e4. Okay, b5, e4. We take, he takes, take the bishop, so we are faster. b5, he needs to play somewhere. Knight e5. Okay, b5. I see no way to play otherwise. And now we're opening everything. Again, horrible play by yours truly. So he has so many pawn pushes. It's just ridiculous. Okay, we need to take it. Here, take, c3 hangs. Okay. Queen. Again, he is better. He actually wins a piece with queen e4. He takes, I take, and he has queen e4, threatening checkmate and hitting the bishop. And he is strong enough to see it. It's a simple tactic. Exactly. I'll give him a pawn. If he takes, I'll take, and the game goes on. Okay, he should have, but he has d-file. I'll try a4 to loosen up his king a little, but he has a winning advantage. Simply this, king f8, and he just doubles on the d-file. Okay, there is some counterplay with a5. there might be some counterplay. With a5 will double on the a file and push a5, hopefully gaining something. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And he has a check. Very devious move by my opponent. Alright. Bishop d3. Rook g4. Here. Okay, we'll simply play h3 next. At some point, okay. He might play rook g2. Bishop. He has this move. King g1. And then what? Rook b4, okay. We go here. And if we exchange one pair of rooks, will be good. We'll have good drawing chances. Okay. D file is plugged. Okay, this is good. Rook. We have a better king, so once we push a5, our rook will be more active and we'll have actual counterplay. En passant. Let's see, a5 he takes, I go here, a7. If he takes, we have rook b6 and that should be a draw. That should be a draw. But it's very hard to hold, okay? Take. Here, his king is cut off. Okay, rook c7. Now he needs to defend somehow. The c pawn, which is not going to be easy. He cannot attack both and defend the c pawn, so we'll play probably, okay, I'll take it. Now all pawns are at the one side of the board and this is an easy draw. Cut off the king. King f3, we have king g3. He must play h4 at some point. We are not gonna allow for his king to come. I had to play king g3 first. This very important move. Now we can play whatever we want because his rook will be pushed away. King g2. This is good. All right. Okay, now we keep the rook on the fifth. H4. Okay, I'm not interested in anything you have to offer. I'll just keep the position. Okay, his king should never be able to enter the white camp. Okay, so this is what he'll try. We'll just keep the position closed. G3, threatening. Very well. Here I am. What will you play next? H3, perhaps. Okay, let's see. Let's go here. And check from the side. This should be good defense. No, we check. We check. Another check. What happens if I play e4? He takes, I go here and I grab the pawns. Why should I? Why should I? This. What is the point? Take this. Then he will have e3 takes. Let's try. I don't care. If I lose, I'll lose. But check. We have so many checks. This should be good for us. Check. No, he cannot check. He has h2 as a move. e3. I'll take it. All right. And now what? I need to get rid of this pawn. Okay, what happens if I take on h3? If he takes, that stalemate, but can he somehow keep the game going? No. He cannot keep the game going. Now his rook hangs and that's it. Okay. So this is checkmate, right? But if I play it like this, where do you go now? When this is a draw. It's a draw, my friend. It's enough for today. I have embarrassed myself enough. I'm not interested. Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's see. Play archive. This game was important. Let's see. What was this? I won. And this one I lost. And I think I had a win. Just another opening. Okay. He played this. Okay, so I have nothing. In the position, if I take, 5 knight d4, okay, nice. Takes. Yeah, rook a d1 was a bad move, because we are going to play on the queen side. This rook should have gone to d1. I was reckless. I didn't even consider my options. I cannot push e4 because his knight very well defends that square. He will have rook e8, so there is no action on the king side because we cannot push e4. Never. But we do have c4 square under our control, and we might play c4 and create a minority attack on the c-file. Rook ad1, huge mistake. It's in precision. Before that, let's see. Yeah, imprecise move. c6, c4. Yeah, engine stop choice. Not surprising. Bishop e6. I could have played c5, a5, a4. Okay, this is complex. Too risky for my taste to play c5. Knight e6, fe6. And now maybe f3 is nice. But I played rook b1. Okay, still equal, but black is better. Okay, rook bc1. No, rook fd1. King e7. Nothing bad yet. b4. Now that's a bad move, because with b4 we have weakened the c3 square, and now I never have c5 because he can take with the knight and threaten the fork on c3. Horrible move. I should have improved my king position, or maybe okay, what to play here? f3 most likely. Just wait. Before a6 to dc4. Okay, he has slight advantage. a3, knight c3, take, rook c1, the only move. Okay, king e2, we plugged the whole d-file. Knight b6, bishop b3, knight d5. I have nothing. Rook c4, we're still equal. g4, g5. Nice move to fix these pawns. h4, king f2. Okay, I'm protecting against this idea. So king d6, rook d4, Rook d4 was not a bad move either. Take, take, rook e4. We have a battery hitting e6, so this knight is actually slightly pinned. He can go to c7, but I want to enforce some weaknesses. Rook g6, rook g4. We are threatening g4 to take the pawn, and now rook d4. Yeah, rook d4, king e7, e4, e5. Okay, rook d1, g4, rook h1, only move, g3, king e3, and now I'm very much better with bishop d1, so so I can prepare f4, but rook h3, yeah, I dropped the advantage. What else did I have? Bishop d1. a5, take, take. We take because now we have these squares available for our king, so he can march into black position, and these are now weak pawns. If we allowed black to capture on b4, his position would be compact because these pawns would cover so many squares and our king would not be able to penetrate. That's why we took on a5. But now the problem is to activate the king to threaten somewhere, because he has 4 weaknesses, 4 weak pawns. I have to win this somehow, but the engine only gives 0.75. Bishop e2. To prepare f4, I need to play f4, and bishop needs to come to this diagonal to prevent knight g4 with counterplay. Okay, fine. But I wanted to pin his pieces. c5, king f6, rook h7. Yeah, I was contemplating rook g6, but I was low on time and I needed to evaluate what happens on rook h1. So I took, and now what to play? Again, a bad move. This was something that deserved attention, to create chances for ourselves. We could have good winning chances if we tie the knight to defend. Now he threatens to take here, and if I take, he pushes the pawn and I cannot stop him. And this, now he's better. He's just better. Yeah. Okay, so I had a slight advantage, but never a win. Okay, fair enough. Lucky coward. I'll explain what I'm talking about. This is the message we received from my former opponent, that I'm a lucky coward. Okay, I have to go, but let's just take a look at the game. Let's see just how well he played. Lucky coward. Okay. he had bishop g2 shot. F3. Even here he can simply take on c4. And he has a clear extra pawn. Just winning. But okay. So he had a better opening. Okay. Here also he has a decisive advantage. And now still decisive advantage. Still he was better. And we see just how much our opponent knows to play the endgames. Because, yeah, really a move of a grandmaster. Lucky coward. Okay, let's do this quickly. I have to go. Lucky coward. Look at this. He had a winning advantage here. Winning advantage. He simply wins. Yeah, I had to go to the first rank. Okay. He still wins. And now he blundered. Yes, lucky coward. Mr. Imitator. I'm not a lucky coward. I'm a far more skilled player than you are, who just hasn't played for 15 years. Instead of insulting other people, I humbly suggest you to grab some basic rook endgame book and study it thoroughly. You had a winning game from the opening all the way to the endgame, and you displayed basic ignorance regarding the tactical skill and the rook endgame knowledge. So I highly recommend you to grab some basic books about tactics and rook endgames and try to improve on your game instead of insulting people who simply played better than you. And I will report you for spam and verbal abuse. I'm doing this publicly to make an example of this user because I will not tolerate this type of insult from anybody, not now, not in the future. So please, if you're going to play, be a sportsman, congratulate your opponent like I did, analyze your game, see where you went wrong, do not verbally abuse other players, please. And with that in mind, I will thank everyone who joined the stream, who watched the stream.
Sometimes there are,
Give me a second, please. That's all I wanted. Okay. Before I go, I will just ask everybody to check out this panel on my About page where I list some of the streamers that helped me out. In return, I have followed them and checked out their content, so I can say that I liked what I saw. They seem like good guys, good people. They are still small. Give them 2 minutes of your time. You can always close the browser tab if you like, but maybe you'll just find another streamer that you like and would like to follow. If not, okay, it's just 2 minutes of your time, but it might mean so much to them. Thank you for joining my stream. Thank you for watching. Feel free to suggest some topics if you wish for me to cover. We can talk, we can do anything you want, but so far I have hard time engaging the chat, so I'm forced to play on chess.com. Catch you later on tonight's stream, where we will continue with our Sicilian Dragon preparation. Thank you. Goodbye.